Miller. I am with Bright Futures, but I also serve as the president of Care. And so I also pastor here in town, and I work at the hospital as a nurse, so I do a lot of stuff. So I'll be talking to you guys today about your poverty topic and economic equality. And so just in preparation, when I looked at this, I just pulled up just the standard definition for poverty. It's a state of lacking sufficient income or resources to meet basic living needs, including food, shelter, clothing. It is defined either absolutely below minimum survival levels or relatively below a community standard of living. It is officially measured by household income thresholds based on family size. And so that is how you get the different levels of income where you are I guess you can say poverty, middle, or high class income family. So, and then the economic equality, I'll give you these definitions and then I'll give you some real life testimonials about this, is the unequal distribution of income, wealth, and opportunities among individuals or groups within a society. It primarily measures the gap between the rich and the poor, covering earnings, which is the income, and the total assets, which is wealth. Key forms include income inequality, which is uneven pay or wages, and wealth inequality, uneven ownership.
I need to see Weston Johnson in the office.
Uneven ownership of assets like property or stocks. So there's a lot of things that causes poverty in our society, and a lot of it is like unemployment, your geographical location will actually add to your level of poverty. We have an area that's close to Gravette that's actually number 4 on a list of like 1 to 10 of the nation's most impoverished counties, and they rank number 4 in the nation. I think number 3, 2, and 1 is up towards the Detroit, Chicago inner city area. And so those are a lot of things that add to poverty. They don't have access to a lot of things like we all do, like employment. So if you have a large community of people that live together and a lot of them are unemployed, that can actually lead to the poverty rate as well. So some of the challenges that individuals face on a daily basis when it comes to poverty, one of the biggest units that's impacted by that is the family unit. So they're having to pool money for unexpected expenses. Like, say for instance, you have a family whose household income is $400 a week, and they have $400 a week to make their bills.
Teachers, if choir members are done with their RTI sessions, please send them to the choir room. Thank you.
No, it's fine. So like their bills or their groceries. So like, let's take $400 for instance. Between their rent, utilities, and their groceries, let's say they need $350 out of that $400. So that's leaving them $50 to do whatever it is they need to do. Well, let's throw in the fact that their child has a field trip coming up. So they need $20. Well, that's pulling from the 50. And then let's say one of them gets an ear infection. So now they have to go see a doctor, and then they have to go to a pharmacy and get medication. Let's say that medication is $30. So you get what I'm getting at, how the numbers continue to decrease. Or it might be one of those things to where they have $400 a week and something comes up, their roof starts leaking, or their car breaks down, or their kid's glasses break. And so what adds to our level of poverty is a lot of unexpected expenses. So a lot of unexpected expenses will pull from the family unit. And so this leads to mental health issues, because the children, the teens, the household, they're completely affected by poverty. Poverty is not just a money thing. Poverty affects the entire family unit, the whole circle of the family. Because you got to think about it from a mental health standpoint. You have people that are depressed, they're angry, they're withdrawn, they're embarrassed. So there's a lot of feelings that comes along with poverty. And so leading to the mental health issues adds to poverty on a wider scale, because now when you have mental health issues, you got to seek medical help. And so since you already know you only have $400 to work with, y'all kind of see what I'm getting at, how things continue to stack up and add up. So with that, they will be trying to go see a doctor, or their kids will have to be in counseling. And so these things lead to stress even in the school. You have bad grades, you have absences, you have anger issues, you have behavioral issues. And so poverty not just affects you from a money standpoint, but it affects the whole complete circle of the family. So that being said, there are a lot of resources out there, and I'm talking really fast because I want to make sure that I give an opportunity for y'all to ask me questions. So there are a lot of resources out there for people that deal with poverty, and there's a lot of resources that help prevent poverty. So I work with Bright Futures, and I'm pretty sure, does everybody in here know what Bright Futures is, what we do? So if you do, that's a good thing, and if you don't, that might be a good thing too, because that might mean that you never needed to use that. Does everybody know about Care and Share here in town? So, all right, that's a good thing too. And then the hospital organization that's here, OCH, the hospital. Does everybody here know we have a hospital here in town? Okay, has anybody had to go there before? Hopefully for a good reason. So maybe you were just going there to visit someone. So I want to make sure that I covered stuff on the first page too before I get to the point to where we can start asking questions.
Yeah, if you guys turn to the the back of the second page will say poverty at the top, and it has some guiding questions for you guys.
Yes. Okay. So I think some of the meat of this I've pretty much dealt with. So just real quickly with Bright Futures, we take care of any student need. If you are a student in the Gravette School District and you have a need that comes up, if you go to your counselor then reaches out to our district coordinator, and she will put the need out to the community. We value the fact that we have tried to meet every need for a student within 24 hours. And I've worked with Bright Futures now for almost the 10 years that they have been in existence. And I don't think we've ever gone to 24 hours to help someone. Most of the time, all of our needs or requests are fulfilled within an hour or two max. And that might be because someone has to drive over to Sam's and pick some stuff up. So at Care and Share, not only can you go there and do shopping, but we also have opportunities for you to get voucher assistance. We have a voucher assistance program that takes care of utilities and medical things. So we have that opportunity within our community, and that has been major. Just last year, 2025, our voucher assistance program, we gave out $126,000 to this community just to help with utility assistance and medication assistance. And then with OCH is a rural health organization that I work for. Rural health is very important as it relates to dealing with poverty. Without having rural health care in place, the level of poverty is going to go through the roof, because rural access, rural health care allows you an opportunity to be able to work with social services, community health workers, and even some of the business office people there, because rural health, they have a lot of opportunities that urban healthcare places don't have. Here at OCH, if you come and you don't have money, you will still be seen. You will still be taken care of. We have people that will help try to see if you qualify for Medicare, Medicaid assistance. We have persons that will help you in that area. Those things really help lower the level of poverty, because now you have a resource that will kind of help you combat that. You can get the health care you need without having to worry about this huge bill that's taking money from you that you already don't have. So that being said, I know that was a lot of talking in a very short period of time, but I at least wanted to allow myself to have at least 15 minutes to have open conversations with you all. So I guess, Ms. Jones, are we entertaining questions at this point?
We can if you're ready to,
I'm
sure.
ready for it. I'm ready.
So I've got some questions on there. If you didn't get any of those and you want to ask them, that can be a starting or jumping off point.
Yes.
You guys want me to go first? Would that make it less scary? Oh, we got one.
Oh, yes.
What causes unstable housing?
Hold on, let's make sure that the mic can pick you up.
What causes unstable housing in communities?
What causes unstable?
Unstable housing in
Where are you?
communities.
What page are you on?
He's on the poverty page. So poverty, besides like medical bills and things, like people not having money to pay rent, like he may
Oh,
not be able to
yes.
answer that, but he might.
Yeah. So I guess one of the things that would cause unstable housing as it relates to poverty would be like the example that I gave, that you only get a certain amount of money, but you have a lot of things that come up against that. What I mean by coming up against that, if you have $200, but something shows up and you need $500, well, you don't have the money. And so that's going to continue to add to the instability of the house. And adding to the instability of the house, you got to think about it from an economic standpoint. You have the money issue, but then because you are now stressed out, now you have the medical issues that goes along with it. And so it is just basically a snowball effect to where it just continues to get larger and larger until you can combat the poverty issue. And the lottery doesn't fix poverty, just throwing that out there. I know everybody thinks, man, if I could just win the Powerball, then, it could just make the world a better place. Well, it's a lot larger than that. One of the things, too, that kind of keeps poverty on the rise is the lack of education. Because in inner cities, you really, and this is not anything against inner city education, but in inner cities, you really don't have the push or the drive or the desire for education. I have a friend that works with schools in the Chicago school system, and they actually have people that go out and basically, I call them marketing parties is what I call them. They do that for enrollment. We don't even have to do that here. I mean, if you see a bunch of jumpy houses and bubble machines and giving out free hot dogs and all of that, and you go, it's probably just some type of community event. Well, if you see that going on in Chicago and you pull over and say, hey, what are you guys doing? Well, we're trying to attract youth so we can build up our enrollment rates for schools. So, the lack of education, the lack of drive and encouragement, that also adds to poverty as well, because if you all decide education is not important, then you have children and you teach those children that education is not important. So do you kind of see how that continues to go on from generation to generation? So hopefully I answered your question.
That was a great answer. Can I piggyback off what you
Yes.
said? Now, I'm not the speaker, but my first 2 years teaching, I taught in an inner city school down in Pine Bluff, Arkansas. And the wealth disparity between here and Pine Bluff, the amount of support that Gravette Public Schools have from their community, we work in tandem, obviously, because Dr. Miller is here. But if we did not have the support from the community, then we would be looking at a very different, like we would not have this nice building.
Right.
We would not have teachers who stay for 10 to 15, 20 to 30 years. So I think that is a part of it too.
Yes. it is.
Do you know anything, this question, anything about financial literacy or education programs that are available in our Northwest
Yes.
Arkansas area?
We do have some, we have a connection through Bright Futures. So our treasurer, she actually works for a bank. And so anytime that we have families that might want to subscribe to that, we connect them with her. And she has programs and different things through the bank that she works at that can give them that financial education that they need. I think it teaches them budgeting, how to save, and even how to work a budget in a pinch. And so yes, we do have that resource available as well.
So that would be a good resource for your research project.
What barriers do we see in solving this like issue of poverty? Like what is stopping?
What are the obstacles?
Yeah.
Yeah, what are the obstacles? Well, not to be mean, but I would say number one is education. Because education basically will open the door for you to do research, and research requires that you have to go out and get it. Another thing would be, another barrier to it is, well, one example would be people expect you to do things that they're not willing to do for themselves. Hopefully that makes sense.
You give me an example to show what you mean.
Well, one example, and this is a really bad example, but there's one situation, not here, that we had to deal with, a single parent home. And in the single parent home, there were seven children in a single parent home. And the parent was wanting the resource to do 100% of the work, and she was not willing to do any of it. And so that is a huge barrier when you have people that are not willing to get out and make a change for themselves. Basically, I want to get out of poverty, but I want you to do it for me. So again, like I said, that's not the best example, but
It happens.
it happens. Yeah.
What other questions do you guys have?
What causes unstable housing?
We already had that.
Mr. Hawasi, what were you doing when we were talking about unstable housing? I know him, y'all, by the way. I'm just messing with you, man.
What other resources besides Bright Futures exist in our Northwest Arkansas area that people could access?
Oh gosh, we have so many that you can have access to. I guess my response to that would be seeking out a community health worker or a social worker, because the number of resources in Northwest Arkansas is amazing. You have the DEAD Project, you have the Compassion Center, we are caring, care and share, but there is a caring and sharing. There's so many other places in Northwest Arkansas that are resources that their mission is for the underserved population. People that are lower income, people that are on poverty level, their mission is driven towards them.
Any other questions? I see they're taking notes.
What advice would you give young people?
Well, I would say take school and education very serious. Like don't blow off your years of education because those are going to be vital moving forward. So I know it's weird that I keep throwing out education because y'all are at school, but I'm telling you, once you become an adult and you see some of the things that I've seen as a pastor and as a community person, you will see that the lack of education is really decaying our society at a rapid rate. So I would say take education serious, take your school year serious, and don't be afraid to ask questions.
I did not pay him or ask him to say that. Just want to clear that out.
And we didn't talk prior to this other than through email. I got the topic, I knew what y'all would be talking about, and so it's something that I already work with on a daily basis.
He's our expert. I have a question.
Okay.
So with inflation
Uh-huh.
skyrocketing, how is that impacting poverty in not just the Gravette community, but the U.S.?
Yeah, the U.S. At a crazy rate, to be honest with you. A statistic shows that most Americans are just one paycheck away from poverty. Sorry.
Most Americans are one paycheck away from poverty.
Just one. Just one. So that's, and you got to think about it, the rate of poverty rises with inflation. It's just like a freight train chasing each other. So to prove this statistic, when you go home, if your parents will be honest with you about it, ask your parents what would be different about your life if they lost their next paycheck. What would that look like for your household if they lost one paycheck? And then if they say, oh, well, it'll be fine, we have savings, then ask them, okay, if you lost 2 paychecks, what would our house look like? And some people that are minimalists, that have financial literacy, will tell you to be a successful American, you have to have 3 months of your income in savings. And ask your parents that. Do you have 3 months of your income in savings? I'll tell you from experience, I do not.
I do not either.
Yeah, I do not have 3 months of my income in savings.
I wish I was.
So Amazon might take it, but it would be wonderful. So, any other questions?
If not, you're going to have to go to second hour and learn. Thank you so much for joining us. Let's give him a round of applause.